Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Daytona for Daytona 500 qualifying. The first car on track, as you can see, is the 19 of Purdy Shaw. And alongside me for qualifying, as he was last year to help provide with some of the stats, is Stephen Paul III. For Purdy Shaw, she drove the 01 car last year for DEI Motors, for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, I should say. Didn't run terribly well, but then again, it's a rookie drive, so it wasn't bad. She is now driving the car that Zach Rogers piloted last year to 7th place in the owner's points, and I will hand it over to Steven.
Yeah, so her best finish was third twice. This 19 car won 2 races last year at Coca-Cola and the Coke 600. The RPM was celebrating pretty good with their new merger with Petty with a win last night. So see how the 19 does. 192 into the corner, not bad. The car was a chaser last season. But Oscon's driver hasn't had the best success, so we'll see if they can rebound this year.
As coming off turn number 4, this will help decide what we're looking at in terms of what is a good lap time or not. The lap time, 47.141.
Not a bad lap time at all.
The second car on track will be the first of our rookie field, although this one is not a rookie that will be piloting the car for all the races, as he will be running full-time in the Reebok Truck Series. It is Nick Breeding driving the 15 for Mark Davis. The plans for this team is to just run part-time, so obviously just trying to get their season start off right, even if they're not going to attempt all the races.
So yeah, the fifth. So for the people who wonder, oh, this car didn't run. This car was originally supposed to run Sonoma in 2009, but obviously Davis's plans went to whatever because they ran out of funding. Yeah, pretty much. The car will have support for Joe Gibb Racing, and as long as they stay out of Brendan Gaughan's way, they should be fine. They got sponsorship for Bobcat right here, but the second year in a row, the second time the Suns came out for the 15 car. Obviously different teams and stuff, but we'll see how they do in their part-time effort. And it's not going to be good with this sun condition for them.
No, so the difference between sun and cloud cover is going to be about 1.3 seconds is what the estimates were. So Nick probably not going to be anywhere close to Purdy Shaw's 47-second lap time. The lap time, 48.309. Only 1.2 off, though. So well, actually good. A really good lap time for Nick Breen considering the conditions. Third car to take time is going to be the second of our rookies and the first of the full-time rookies, Logan Alexander in the 08 car. Now, the good news for Logan Alexander and any of his fans from lower series in terms of, I guess, the short tracks, this must be where he came from, I don't know, is that this car, courtesy of Mary Shelley, is locked into the Daytona 500 and the first 3 races on the fact that they are the third-place car in owner's points because this is the 08 from last year, just turned in from EM Motorsports to Carter Simo.
Yeah, so the 08 car, we saw originally like some of the Carter, John, the 37 and 06 in the All-Star race. Last year was did so well to the third place. They're even fielding a second car this year. Logan's going to probably struggle, but if they can keep up there in the points, they might be able to make some races. Good track conditions are definitely going to help out, but more sponsorships, but the rookie driver might not fare out too well, so we'll see how he does this year.
Well, he did get up to 190. I don't think he had the consistent speed as what Purdy Shaw did. We'll have to see, though. Crossing the line, the lap time, 47.235. It's only a tenth off.
Not bad.
Fourth car to take time here at Daytona will be the 25 Hendrick Motorsports GoDaddy.com Chevrolet for Jonathan Zorline. Back in the 25 now and ran the Bud Shootout a night ago. He's actually the first of our Bud Shootout competitors to take time.
Yeah, so yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, this is the car that was 41st in owner's points last season, so Zorline not likely to be able to fall back on points should you need them. Zorline, a chaser a year ago in the 88 car with Hendrick.
Allison Ray won 1 race with this car in Ontario last year. The 25 is not, so the 25 has 1 win since season 3 with Seth Cole. So for Zorline, not really the stat you want to have like Charles at Michigan last year. So he made his first 2 Daytona starts. Well, obviously the first one he had to make because we didn't have knockout. He's missed the last 3 Daytona races in a row. That is pretty bad. And he still won an Owners' Championship and made the chase last year. So maybe DNQing is a good omen for him. But this conditions and his DNQ success is not going to lead to a good lap. So we'll see how he does in the duels.
As coming off turn number 4, it's already showing 185 as he comes into the tri-oval. The lap time for Jonathan Zorline, 48.531, the slowest of 4 so far.
Oh, God.
JT Bryant will be the 5th car to take time in the 98 Menards Quaker State Ford for Yates Racing. This is the 38 car from last year, which Sky Commons piloted to 28th in the owner's points. JT Bryant, a chaser a year ago in the 42, will look to bring some of that success over here to the 98 team.
Yeah, besides DNQs coming off 6 straight top 20s, a third, a fifth, a second, and 2 dual wins for the 38 team to end the season last year with Sky. JT Bryan, the former Daytona 500 winner, I believe he won Talladega and Hooters, don't quote me on that. And he also won Twin Rig in the Cup Series. Decent season, obviously didn't do well in the chase, rookie, not going to do so well. But JT trying to bring momentum to Yates Racing, it's been a struggle. They haven't won a race since season 4 with Mary, so trying to get their first win, because I know they didn't win with Anderson in season 4, so we'll see how they do this year. It's a decent lap, 190, that looks good.
I think this does look good. I saw 191 through 3 and 4, although I don't know if it's going to be a pole speed. Could it be front row, though, for JT? 47.156, it is second.
15 thousandths or thousandths, right?
Yeah, that's thousandths off. Yep.
Yeah. And 1, 2, oh, that's Yates. That's next year. Whoops, that failed number 1.
Amy Shelley will be the 6th car to take time. We're getting close to where we start that top 8 bubble for the fastest cars on speed. Because in addition to the pole and in addition to the front row, I should say, we will also lock in the next 6 fastest speeds behind front row. For Shelley, driving for the brand new team in terms of the series for points, as the 4 car did not run last year for Morgan McClure. And so she will have to race her way into the Daytona 500. For Amy, she was a chaser last season, though, with Furniture Row Racing.
Yeah, so quickly, because this lap's almost over. She won the 14 Morgan McClure, hasn't won since Kansas with Chris Washer back-to-back. Amy, like I mentioned, Morgan Shepherd, Penske, Furniture Row, and now Morgan McClure. What a hell of a transition. And we'll see what her lap is going to be, as she finished second in the 06 500, and she DNQ'd the race last year.
47.226. That is third quickest.
9 thousandths faster than the 08 of Alexander, her old ride. No, that's her sister's old ride.
Yeah. William Brock will be the 7th driver to take time, the 3rd of our Bud Shootout competitors. We forgot to mention that about Amy Shelley because we kind of picked it up a little bit late. Yeah. Yet again, also, just like Amy Shelley, a brand new team, Blackjack Racing, with the 51. Brock transitioning over to this team from JGR a season ago. And because this is a brand new team, William Brock will be one of the drivers that has to race their way in to the Daytona 500.
Yeah, Brock got his first win at Lime Rock last season, ran the 18 and then went to the 20. Kind of disappointed he didn't go to the 02, but going to try to help out Blackjack, Dexter Bean's team out here this season. No owner points. It might be a struggle as Brock has a lot of DNQs. That was part of the reason why he got cut from Joe Gibbs. So we'll see what he can do in this season. As 192 into turn 3, that is not too shabby from Mr. Brock.
Looks promising. This should at least put him up into that top 4 or 5 cars.
And it's nice to see we have more Dodges this year, too, because Dodges are always hurting.
As coming to the line, the lap time, 47.174. That will be third fastest. Quickest.
Not bad.
And the 8th car to take time here will be Noah Sewell in the 09 Phoenix Racing Dodge, sponsored by Mikasuki. This is a team that did run last year, but does not have points to be able to transfer over, as only the top 45 cars actually brought points over. Top 42 could make it, possibly, although we've already eliminated one of those because of the past champion rule. For Noah, obviously brand new to the series, true rookie, hasn't run anything in the top 3 before, so we'll have to wait and see what he can do.
Yeah, so the '09 team, one win with Kyle Matthews at Talladega, have a Hooters win with Dylan Young at Daytona. Rob Evans finished third. He had pretty good results in the plate races for this team. Like I mentioned, third in the 500. Ran pretty decent. The '09 team hasn't had much success. They had Tom Girard in behind the wheel too. But Sewell, rookie driver, trying to see how he does. 190. Doesn't look like it's going to be one of the top laps, but with Clear, let's see how he can do.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a pole speed. Can he maybe put it on the front row? We'll have to wait and see. It's been 190
No
a
way.
lot. The lap time, 47.249. It will be fifth.
Lowest of the Clear.
Cloudy, you mean?
Cloudy, yeah. And then we're going to start bumping.
Yeah. So the next one out, we'll start taking guys out of the top 8. Zachary Fitzwater will be the 9th car to take time, and as we mentioned, this will start knocking off guys who are locked in on speed today. Fitzwater is the first driver today to actually be in the same ride that they were in last year. Fitzwater and the 29 team 14th in both drivers and the owners points last year. So trying to keep up the success that they had of making the chase 1 year ago.
Yeah, so Fitzwater won the Hooters title last year. Two wins in the 29. He won it 2 seasons ago, too. So 3 wins in the last 2 seasons. Good job for Fitzwater bringing back the 29 car after Oz Khan kind of DNQ'd it 15 times. Eric and Rage won the championship in the car. So Fitzwater staying drug-free so far in the last couple of seasons has definitely helped him out. His 3 500 starts have been very piss-poor, to say the least. So Fitzwater with a decent lap right now, trying to get one of the 3 veteran drivers of RCR a good pole time here. Or dual starting part.
Well, trying to see if he can't lock his way in today. The lap time
190 straight.
47.290. It will be
slowest.
7th quickest out of the
slowest
9.
out of the Clear, I think it is.
The important part, 7th of 9.
And that bumps Shoreline out.
And next car to go out will be Landon Smith Jr. in car 37, the Long John Silver's front row Dodge. This car was piloted last season by Kira Arenthade, but as a Chevy. They will carry over the 38th place owners points, but that likely will not be good enough to get them into the 500.
Yeah, so the 37 team, they started in the Season 4 All-Star race with, I don't remember the driver, but they crashed out on that one. Splashing with Young and Arenthade did not win a race. Sam Young almost won Vegas, but fell back. The 37's best finish was 3rd. Not the best season. We're not voting for Kenny this year, but they did get more sponsorship, and Hefty has moved over to the 4. So they'll see Lon Johns, Bremerton, Mississippi be on for a few races and a couple more sponsorship. We'll have a white, a black, a blue, and a yellow version of this car. So we'll see how they do this year. The 2nd year in a row with a rookie driver. Trying to go with that theme with a rookie and then a veteran. We'll see how that plays off with the experience.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I don't think this is looking like a strong lap. Only 187 right there as they came off turn number 4. But as it comes into the trioval, the lap time for Landon Smith Jr., it's a 47.584. It is not going to be in the top 4.
The slowest. No, not the slowest. The 8th fastest.
8th out of 10.
Yeah,
but it is good enough to put him in
out.
the top 8 so far.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander Rowe will be the 11th car to take time in this qualifying session. The 3M Ford for Roush Fenway Racing. Rowe in his 3rd different team in 3 seasons now. Drove the Penske 2 and then the DEI 15, now over at Roush in the 16. This car finished 17th in the owners' points last year with Jeffrey White as their driver, the Rookie of the Year winner, who will not be on the field this year.
Yeah, the 16. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Never mind, I was pretty much done.
The 16 won the season, 2 Daytona 500 wins for this. 2 Daytona 500 wins for this car here. Roush has been either hit or miss with drivers. Rowe trying to bring experience. And this first 500, he hit the wall and finished 42nd, getting lap. Definitely big improvements from his season 4. Well, the last 10 races he kind of improved. See how he does this season. He's got Tristan Wolf as a teammate, so we'll see if he can improve going over from DEI to the 16. Not a bad lap going so far, 191.
Let's see, trying to beat a 47.58 from Landon Smith Jr. The time, 47.285. He's in the top 8.
Yeah, that's 7th fastest. He beats the Fitzwater.
Next driver on track will be Stephen Pollard III. This is another one of the cars that has no points as a brand new team from 2008 over to 2009, and so Pollard will have to race his way into the Daytona 500 with the unsponsored Norm Benning car here. Made the chase, though, last year with the Red Bull car, just couldn't quite get that past champions provisional that he would have needed.
Yeah, so the 57, I almost won the season 6 Sony Cup Series championship. This car was like, screw it, let's still, why not run it again? So Steve had a down year. I mean, he did win a race, but the first year he didn't get 2 wins in the series. Bill Davis to Red Bull to the 57, getting a lot of support from RCR, running a former Fitzwater car. So hopefully for some success here. Not any points for any of the Paul. This is not a good way to start your season off, which clearly killed us with the Red Bull team. So we'll see what happens with Paul here. 190, not looking like a good lap, but maybe decent.
Was 191 going into turn 3? This looks like it might be kind of on par with the 37's run a little bit. We'll have to wait and see, though, as here he comes to the line. 47.518. It is not going to be good enough to get into the top 8.
Yeah, that's 9th fastest.
Kenny Moma will be the next car out on track, as just like with Stephen Paul III, switching over to a team that has no points, but this is a team that has experience running some stock car races. They've run Reebok Truck Series races in the past. Just a brand new team on the Cup side for MoMA. The odd man out at Evernham after last season when they merged with Richard Petty in the offseason. Found his way over to the 71 team, though, but will have to race his way in.
Yeah, so Kenny didn't do bad last season. Just, had a lot of bad results in DNFs, but he made most of the race. I think only DNQ'd 9 times despite not being the very high in the owner points. Kenny moves from the Evernham team to the TRG. Had some success in the truck series for sure, so see how he could do. Second-year driver, so more confidence going in. They even got 2 cars. I think he's got a rookie driver to help him out get the speed, and they got Tax Slayer to sponsorship, so they got some money going along with his team, so we won't see a lot of these blue blank paint schemes. Well, I say that, but who knows?
Coming off turn number 4, it looks like it's been a solid lap. I don't know if it's going to be good enough for the top 8. The lap time, 47.543. It is not good enough for the top 8.
10th fastest.
10th fastest? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Ryan George is the next car to go out, and this car actually just had a little bit of trouble there. They had problems getting the car started, so not exactly as early out as the officials will have liked. For Ryan George, transferring over from BAM Racing to Gunzelman, the team owned by Larry Gunzelman. No points for this team, so George will have to race his way into the Daytona 500, just like he had to do a season ago.
Yeah, almost missed the 5-minute clock there. So yeah, Ryan finished 3rd twice. Not a bad season for a rookie. Only had 3 DNQs and stuff. Made most of the races. Wasn't a chase contender based on the equipment and stuff. I think the good thing for the 64 team, there was no Dario Franchitti in the field, so they should be good at Talladega. And Ryan, with the 2nd year, should definitely have some more experience there. This is going to be the Bill Davis cars. They didn't get the owner's points, though, unfortunately. So Chris Wilson made the final 4. So probably with this equipment, that actually is a Bad Boy Mowers car. So with that equipment, we'll see how they do this year.
As coming off turn number 4, reaching 190, so it's a decent speed at least. We'll see. Crossing the line, 47.201. It is good enough for the top 8. Fourth
fastest, and this Bill Davis wasn't known for speed last year in Q. Good job by them.
Christian Vargas is the next car to go out, and unfortunately for him and the Roush Fenway team, the sun has come back out.
Underneath Daytona International Speedway.
For Vargas, for Vargas, he's a rookie coming into the season, so no experience in any of the lower series. So going to be kind of unknown on how he'll do. For the 99 team, they were 15th in the owner's points last year with multiple drivers, courtesy of Will Hoyt having the injury issue that he had. So we'll have to see if they can carry some of that momentum in.
Yeah, the 99 hasn't won since with Levi in season 5 or season 4 at I believe it was Pig Stadium here. 99's had an interesting history. Hasn't had a lot of success, but it has some. has ran pretty consistent stuff. Never really had like a terrible season, but never bad. A lot of teammates to lean on for Vargas, though. He does have Tristan Wilhoit and Rowe with experience in the series. The fastest, only 2 other drivers. Breeding is the fastest Sun driver. We'll see if he can beat that time.
And that was a 48.309. I don't remember exactly what the speed comparison was. Lap time 48.593. That is the slowest so far out of 15.
Well, Aflac's not taking you under your wing.
The next car to go out on track will be the first of our rookies to move up from a lower series. We've got 5 or 6 of them, I think, in the series that they're coming up from a lower series. Brian James ran the Hooters series last season for the O2 Corey Stott team. Now moves up to the R3 Motorsports team, number 23. New team for this, as they'll be running both the Hooters and Cup series, I think for the first time in Hooters. But no points, though, for the 23. They will have to race their way in.
Yeah, Brian finished 3rd here and won Orlando. He was really good at the plate and SS track besides the paging at Auto Club. 23 team is R3 Motorsports, like Charles mentioned. They're going to have support from RCR also. Chevy team, looks how they do this season. Love the paint scheme for the tractors. They'll be in the series for a couple more years. It's kind of a building program with Brian. See how they can do with a rookie driver. And we'll see what this lap time is. 189. Not going to be a top 8 lap, it looks like, but Brian will have to race his way into the 500.
It's had consistent speed. Barely flashed to 188 down into coming off turn 4 into the tri-oval. The lap time for Brian James, a 47.420.
And fastest.
Not good enough for the top 8, though.
Nope.
Colin Cropley is the next car out on track and the second of the RCR cars. This is the rookie driver that they've got in the stable for this year. For the 33, they were piloted last year by Cole Deaver, finished 39th in the owner's points. Much like the 37, probably not going to be good enough to get that car in on points. So definitely going to need a good, solid Q lap to try to get them something to put them in the field.
So Cropley's going to come into the season. This 33 doesn't have the championship or the point success, but a lot of wins with Enrage, Drew Austin, Steve Paul, me, myself, and last season Cole Deaver won by a whole lap in this car. He's got Seth Cole, Fitzwater, and Duncan to lead on for experience. Excuse me. So we'll see how he does this year. Definitely, I expect him to be one of the top rookies with one of those drivers, and this is going to be a good lap.
This looks like a quick lap. 193 down into turn 3. Only down to 190 off turn 4. Can it unseat Pretty Shaw from the pole? The lap time, 47.021. It's quickest.
Yeah, that's a really good lap. I think that just leading off those guys have helped.
Colin Cropley to the top of the board as a rookie.
Can I go get some advice from them?
Next on track is going to be Steven Colon, another rookie driver, but with no experience in the lower series. Going to try and follow up what Pretty Shaw did to start off this session, as this is one of the teammates to that car. This car was piloted by Marcus Ambrose last year, but then also bought out the points from BAM Racing's 49 to get them up to 21st in the owner's points for trying to get into the field, which should hopefully be helpful for getting the rookie into the field for the Daytona 500.
Yeah, so Charles Jackson won a bunch of races this car. Jake Blicker and Kyle Austin won 3 races. The 9 team was not really good at all last year. I believe they have 1 top 10 that was late in the season. Marcus Ambrose just, man, they had the biggest fall off I've ever seen or something. We'll see how he does. 191 though. This is gonna be a good lap.
192 off into turn 3. This might be good enough for a front row starting spot as well.
Yeah, looks like RPM, that merger, they bring some cars to play.
As coming into the tri-oval, the lap time for Steven Colon, 47.033. It is second.
I mean, I want to go out this time and qualify.
Well, too bad. You already went out.
I missed my 10-minute clock.
Next car out on track will be Hunter Braxton, as this is the second of those rookies I mentioned that is coming up from the lower series. Braxton ran the last 2 years. Whoops. Great. Game clicked out on me. Braxton drove the last 2 years in the Hooters series. in a couple of Dodges. Now switches over to a Toyota, though, at the Cup level. This is, for all intents and purposes, the 84 from last year, as that car was 8th in the owner's points with Stephen Paul III. Braxton going to be running for Rookie of the Year and hoping that his Hooters experience helps him well there.
Yeah, the 84, wow, good. The last 12 cars, the track is the best time. The 84 car won in Season 5, did really good last year, too, with 1 win. Good speed going to here. Hunter finished first and second in his 2 Daytona starts at Hooters. Man, he's looking forward to this track, because if he can bring that success over here, he's going to have a good race. Not as fast as the 193, but it still looks like it'll be a good lap time.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is going to compare well with the top 8 speeds, but we'll see at the line. 47.482. It is not good enough for the top 8.
13th fastest.
Okay, it's 13th for the 82. Isaac Flickinger is the next car to go out, and unfortunately for him, the sun has broken through the clouds once again. Isaac Flickinger trying to bring over the magic of that he had in the 2 car over to the 48 team, and already that quickly has not gone well. Although did run well in the Bud shootout. I got up front a couple times. 48 driven by Kyle Matthews a season ago, 33rd in the owner's points. Isaac was a chaser though in the 2.
Every drivers ran the 48. He finished second besides William Duncan. He finished third, close enough. Isaac won in the 78 car. He won in the 2. Would have been a 2-time winner if it wasn't that pit road penalty. Had a horrendously bad chase. Did really good in the Truck Series. Almost won the championship over there. The 48 car trying to get that first win. Isaac trying to get 3 years in a row with 3 different
points win.
I don't correct me on this, but I could be wrong. First drive to win a race with 3 different teams in 3 years in a row, and off turn 4. Well, let's see what this lap's going to be.
As looking to compare to the 15, and the lap time is a 48.572. It is not
19th.
Slowest.
It's 19th fastest at Hendrick Motorsports, 18th and 19th.
Yikes. Marcus Ambrose will be the 21st driver to take time driving the car that Gene Sanford took to 18th in the owner's points 1 season ago. Just barely missed making the chase, basically, because they were right up there in points the entire year. Only missed 1 race last year with this 47 team. Ambrose last year drove the 9 and didn't go exactly well, so he's going to be looking for a rebound season here with the 47 and a new team.
Yeah, so the 47, Ambrose did really poor last year. Really sunk the 9 team to lows. Had to make them merge. The 47 team, though, in the last 2 seasons under JTG. This season will be Michael Waltrip. Next year, as they're building the shop for next year, JTG will be on their own next year. But this year, it's under Michael Waltrip.
This is looking good. This is looking good down the back.
And one last note, this is the 00 MWR team from last year that Derek Hamlin ran. Hamlin has a new 00 team.
As 192 off into turn 3, this is comparing well with Stephen Cologne's lap. What will be the lap time for Ambrose? Looks like he'll be top 8 at the line. 47.094. It's third.
Third fastest, and right next to his old ride. How about that?
Well, right behind it.
Yeah. The
22nd car to take time will be a name I'm probably going to mispronounce, but I'm going with Mitchell Hodak as the name. That's what I saw, at least. If I'm wrong, please correct me on that one. Driving the 55 Michael Waltrip Racing Napa Auto Parts Toyota that was driven by Brian Hart a season ago. This car does have provisionals, but does not have points that are good enough to get them into the show. They will have to race their way in either through qualifying or through the duels.
Yeah, so the 55 team, I'm going to say the best. After Gene had that good 5th place points with the MWR, they've been really forgettable besides that one cheating pole in the wall they had at the Pig Stadium in Season 5. Brian Hart and Zach Flickinger both ran the car to absolutely positively nothing. So we'll see if Hodak can do at least something productive in this car this year. We'll see.
By the way, we didn't get it in, but Ambrose with his lap time, who was it they knocked out again?
Alexander.
Alright. As the lap time, 47.641. That is not all that good at all.
18th, the slowest out of the clear, right?
Cloudy.
Or cloudy.
Slowest of the clear would be slowest overall.
Yeah, that's true.
Back-to-back true rookies take to the track here, as following Mitchell Hodak's lap will be Roberto Crown Jr. in the second Robbie Gordon Motorsports car. After back-to-back seasons finishing top 2 in the owners' points, they decided that they wanted to run a second car full-time this year, and they get a rookie to drive it. We'll have to see how it can do. As a new team, this car will have to race its way into the Daytona 500, as apparently the team decided not to switch points.
I don't remember one of the drives for but I know Dylan Froaks ran the car, so I believe he won a race. I'm not really sure. The 7, the last time they ran a second car, they won Coca-Cola with Henry Williams. They even won an All-Star race with an extra $1 million and an Owners' Championship on top of that with Zorline. So maybe with Crown Jr. they could bring that success because, if you remember, good lap time already going. Henry Williams was a true rookie, wasn't a true rookie, but he's a rookie driver, and he had success. So we'll see how he does. But the 7 has a new driver, which I don't remember who it is. Who's the driver of the 7?
I don't remember either right off the top of my head right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, FCC. But it looks like it's going to be a decent lap.
This looks like it's got a shot for the top 8. We'll have to see if they can get top 8. They are in. So at the line, 47.333. It is not quick enough for the top 8.
13th fastest, the first driver to break into the 47.3 bracket.
Yeah. We had 47.29 from Fitzy and then a 47.4 from Brian James. So.
Yep.
And by some sheer luck in the qualifying draw, 3 true rookies ended up all together, as Gatlin Downey is going to be the next car out, driving the car number that Tim Randolph took to the championship last season. Now in a merger between No Fear and EM Motorsports, following Carter Semo Racing, I think. Either way, this car will be locked into the Daytona 500, taking home those top owner spots from last year.
Oh, you ever think about Furniture Row going to Spire? This is pretty much what it is. It's going from the championship team to a back marker car. This is the teammate to the 08 of Logan Alexander. This is not like the same championship. It's a lot dumber down version. We'll see how they're doing Dodge from Ford to Dodge. Gatlin will have 2 true rookies in the car. They're going to go from Mary and Tim first and third in the standings to completely brand new. So we'll see how they do this. So far, not a good one. Can barely hold 190. So
yeah, I don't think this is going to be
at that point, holding steady.
But at the line for Downey, the lap time 47.385. It is going to be 14th quickest.
Yeah, 2 in a row right there.
And our next car to go out will be the 66 of Kev Shear. This is Prism Motorsports, and they're going to be sponsored by the Denny Hamlin Foundation for the Daytona 500. Brand new team for the 66, so they will have to race their way in, and unfortunately, Mother Nature not on their side today, as the sun has come out once again.
Kev, the DNQ, did not win, choked away the DNQ championship, which is fitting why they have the Denny Hamlin Foundation sponsorship this year. 66 is going to be running test cars for MWR, like they need any testing because they're not a very good team. But whenever you see errands on this car, that'll be a full-blown MWR car. Kev returns back to the series. He ran Hooters the last for Roush and Junior Motorsports, coming back after running the terrible Petty 43 car. So we'll see how Kev does in the 66. Last year, the 66 was powered by Mark George. Obviously, that was hot CNC, but we'll see how Kev does in this lap. Not looking too hot, though.
Well, obviously, we're comparing to the 15. That would be the best comparison. 48.3 was that lap. The lap time, 48.377, not far off of the 15.
22nd for him.
Brett Moma will be our next car out on track following Kev, as this is the 26th car to take time. Moving over from Hall of Fame Racing's 96 Toyota over to the 02, which will be yet again a conjunction effort between Joe Gibbs Racing and Brandon Ash, as this team last year was piloted by Logan York with both teams. Did not finish high enough in points to carry over points good enough to make the 500 potentially, so they will have to race their way in some form.
Yeah, the best finish was second. I mean, Logan didn't do terrible. He just had a really bad second half of the season here. E-Fusion and Farmers Bureau Insurance have moved over. Home Depot will not sponsor the team this year. Brett had 2 wins in the 96. He was just god-awful in qualifying, and it's telling by this time right now. We'll see how Brett does from one terrible team to another, so we'll see how Brett does, but not looking too hot right now. Nothing like bringing the Phoenix car out to Daytona.
Well, I mean, comparatively, he actually moves up the grid, technically, as he moved from the
Well,
960
that lap
to.
speed is not moving up the grid.
As, let's see what the lap time is. 47.612. It's only quicker than the 55 in terms of those that had cloud cover.
Yeah, that's a bad lap.
Our next driver out is Steve Pollard. This is the first of our 3 past champions trying to make the Daytona 500. For the 2017, did not run last season, so Steve Pollard will have to race his way into the Daytona 500. Is not guaranteed to be able to use that past champions provision.
Yeah, so the 2017, Steve ran 06. He won a pole, had some decent success. A 9th place in the second Daytona, 5th in the 500 in 07. A really down year at Red Bull. Steve decided, I'm leaving the family team, so I'm not leaving the family team, leaving the family juncture, so I'm going on my own. Trying to go back to his roots. This is going to, well, it's not RCR cars anymore, so probably took a couple of the Red Bull 82s, and we'll see how they do. Steve made the chase, just didn't have the equipment really to run up front during the chase. 190 to the corner looks pretty good for him. DNQ'd the 500 last year, though, unfortunately.
I did see it flash up to 191, although I don't think this is going to be all that good of a lap because it went down to 188. As he comes into the trioval, the lap time for Steve Pollard is a 47.466.
That will be 16th fastest. Right ahead of the 82, ironically enough.
Austin LaPlante will be the 28th driver to take time, and for the 3rd time in a row for the Hendrick cars, it's been sunlight hitting the track here. Austin LaPlante drove the 46 last season. Didn't find much success. Hopped over to the Hendrick team and is driving the car that was piloted last year by Seth Cole. This car finished 34th in the owner's points 1 season ago.
Yeah, only car without a top 5 last season. The 5 won the championship with Chris Walsh a few seasons ago. And actually, Austin's returned to Hendrick because he ran the 25 for the first 19 races in the 06 season until he left for reasons. And then last year was a pretty dismal year. I believe he was the DNQ champion, won Talladega and stuff. Nothing like Carl Long to Hendrick, so we'll see if Austin can at least get a top 5 in this car this year. Hendrick looking to rebound after, besides Shoreline, a very dismal season. Well, Johnny had some decent success, but, was not very high in owner points.
Yeah, Allison didn't exactly. There's mixed results for that 25 as Austin LaPlante to the line, 48.760.
Slowest by a country mile.
That's about 2/10, I think, off of what Vargas ran.
48.593.
Yeah. Matt Duncan will be the 29th driver to take time as he returns to the Roush Fenway number 6 that he drove last season, although sponsorship has changed. No longer is it the AAA Ford, but it is now the UPS Ford. Duncan did not get this car high enough in owner's points to be able to try and point his way into the 500, so it will be a requirement to race their way in for the car number 6.
Yeah, so the funny thing, his best finish is still from his first career start at Bristol last year, a 4th place finish. The 6th had Ebrahimian. Will Lewis was the last one. Ironically enough, like with the 99 season 4, with, I don't remember where Will Lewis won. I think it was Daytona, I believe. Ebrahimian's finish was 3rd. Duncan was 4th. It was a really dismal rookie year. Running 2 series kind of hurt him a little bit. 188. Doesn't look like he'll be a good lap, but with the new sponsorship going from the crappy MWR team to this team, maybe he'll have some success.
As coming across the line, the lap time 47.453. It will not be good enough to get himself in.
453 would put a 16th fastest, and 16th is a popular number.
And the sun has yet again decided to peek out as Time Pollard goes to the track in the Super 8 Dodge for Richard Petty Motorsports. This is, for all intensive purposes, the 45 from last year, which does mean that there are no points to help get this car into the Daytona 500. So Time Pollard will have to race his way in some form.
Yeah, so Time last season won at Irwindale. Still rumored to this day he cannot get by Sam Young. Had some decent success with the 13 at the end of the year. Wasn't too bad. The Red Bull kind of was just helping Keidemann. A deal worked out with Jermaine and stuff. The 44, if it was the 45 from last year, I'm expecting nothing out of Time this season because that ride has sucked for years. So Super 8 on the car, a lot of sponsorship will be rotating with it to help out. A lot of teammates too, so see how they do along with Oscon too. Off the corner, not going to be a good lap, but see if Time can make his way to the 500. 13th last season from his first 500 since season 1.
Well, yeah, so last season was his first campaign since season 1.
Yeah, this is going to be a bad lap.
As he crossed the line, Caney beat Nick Breeding, 48.460. The answer is no.
For what? 6-0?
460.
Faster than all the Hendrick cars, at least. Yeah.
Bradley Ream is going to be the next guy out on track, driving the car that was driven last year by William Brock. This was the 35th place car in the owner's points. Bradley Ream, a true rookie for the series, has not driven either Reebok trucks or the Hooters series before coming up here. So we'll have to wait and see what this rookie can do.
Yeah, so Ream coming in the car. I believe there's only been one driver off the top of my head that has not won in the 20 that has ran a race in. I think it was in season 4. Don't correct me. No, season 3 it wasn't. I think Drew Austin did win in this car.
Drew Austin is the one that hasn't. I know that.
Yeah, so last year Brock got his first career win in the car. I think the 20, I don't remember who ran season. I know Preller won in the car. So Ream at least has that with a car that's capable of winning. Who ran in season 5?
Might have been Preston at that point, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah, Preston broke Gene's heart at Ontario. And off the corner here, not going to be really a fast lap time for the 20.
Nope, not judging by the speed. 47.695 for Bradley Ream.
Yeah, that's the slowest out of the clear times. Not a good
Cloudy.
lap. Damn it.
And you can look away for this next run as the next car is Robert Pollard. Last year, this probably set a record for the slowest speed that we had out of the entire qualifying, despite being in the best conditions. This car does not have owner's points good enough to make it in, as Robert Pollard was, I think, like 60th in owner's points in this car.
Well, a second, 186, that's not bad. That's faster than we were last year, definitely for sure. Second Yeah, second at Martinsville, fourth at South Boston was all the highlights of this car last year. This is the meme car, let's just be honest. It's a meme car for a reason. Not bad. Wow, Robert Pollard, 109.
He's learned some things from last year, apparently. 190 down the back.
A season 4 pole sitter. Wow, I guess that sponsorship from... I guess we're not flipping burgers, because Robert was flipping a lot of burgers after DNQ and got crapped out of races. Sponsorship on the side. Wow, I can't believe this.
Well, dropped to 187 through 3 and 4, though. So it's not going to be a top 8 run for Robert, but the lap time is a 47.725.
That's the slowest. But hey, at least he's faster than the Sun cars.
Yeah, that's something better than last year. Next car to take time will be the 78 of Max Anderson, the National Day of Prayer Furniture Row Racing Chevrolet. Anderson returning to Furniture Row Racing after driving the 87 last year. Now hopping into the car that was piloted by Amy Shelley, though, and was 6th in the owner's points last year. Both Furniture Row cars made the chase, actually, but unfortunately the team just decided to cut back to one car.
Yeah, so good news for Anderson, the 78, every season it's ran, besides, once again, with the aforementioned Drew Austin, has won. Isaac Fliginger Ashkurst won a Southern 500, Isaac won an 8 Bull, yeah, and the 78 won with Amy twice at Atlanta and Martinsville. Anderson was the road course master last season with 3 wins, had a dreadful chase, but with the limited funding from RCR, that's what kind of happens when they're focusing on Fitzwater. Anderson looks to continue the streak of 4 different years with 4 different drivers winning in the 78 car. And with that lap time, it might look good.
Well, he was 192 off into turn 3. This could be good enough for the top 8.
Yeah, Anderson's third season, 87, 88 to 78, as we'll see what it is.
As the lap time, 47.345. Lost just a little bit too much on either the front straightaway.
But not bad. 14th fastest.
Mary Shelley is the next driver out on track as the sun has started to peek through the clouds. Mary Shelley driving the car that Henry Williams piloted last year to 20th in the owner's points. The 2005 Coke Vanilla Cup Series champion is second in line for the past Champions Provisional should she need it. Drove the 08 EM Motorsports car last year to 3rd in the points.
Yeah, so Mary moved over to EM, almost painfully lost. This is one of her worst finishes last year in the 535th. Her last win was in season 4 Richmond. The 18's last win was in Pichu London. 186 in the sun is amazing. The 18 car has not won since they had Henry Williams and William Brock in the car. Not a lot of success. The 18 did make races, but man, we're really contenders. Mary's going to be a threat for this. The season 4 Daytona, no, not the season 3 Daytona 500 winner.
Yeah, although when she won it, she also then went on to win the title. We'll have to wait and see. The lap time, 48.459. It's not even the fastest of the guys with sun on the track.
Wow, that's 30th fastest. Time Paul was fastest. I'm surprised.
Henry Sanford is going to be the 35th driver to take time here at the high banks of Daytona International Speedway. Moving over from Robbie Gordon Motorsports over to Penske Racing. Keeping within the Dodge camp, but just switching homes. This car was piloted by Isaac Flickinger last season and finished 9th in the owner's points after getting eliminated in the round of 8, I believe, if I'm correct. Henry finished 2nd in the points with the 7. We'll have to see what he can do.
Yeah, so it's a funny thing we would not think we would say after going into season 5. The two cars won the last 2 seasons with Rowe and Isaac Flickinger. I believe both at road courses, so Henry will have some good. He's won on a road course before. Looking at that 191, the corner, not bad.
192 actually for a lot of that back straightaway as he went off into turn 3.
Henry's finished 2nd and 6th in the last 2 500, so definitely a sleeper pick for the 500 this weekend. And we'll see what he can do here at the Penske car. One of 3 entries as they downgrade a team.
The line, the lap time 47.061.
That is 3rd fastest.
Believe the 2nd fastest Dodge.
And behind the beer car, ironically enough.
And the final of our 3 past champions trying to make the Daytona 500 is on track. Tim Randolph in car 41, owned by Jeremy Mayfield. This car will race in the Daytona 500, courtesy of Tim Randolph being the defending Cup Series champion. Drove the 60 No Fear Racing Ford for the last 2 seasons, actually. And we'll have to see what type of a lap time he can put down in the sun.
So Randolph, 1 win, part of the Carlos-Simo merger. Randolph was the odd man out, despite winning the championship. Can't keep the championship guy, I guess. SmallSponsors.com and All Sport came on board the Mayfield car. J.J. Elliott will take ownership after race 11. But for right now, Randolph trying to make the 500, try to pull the same success like in real life this team has. With they have points, Raiders. They bought somebody's points.
No points for this, but they will race courtesy of the past champions provision.
Yeah, so they should be in for the first 3 races, and Randolph
they'll be in for the first 5 guaranteed, actually.
Yeah, Randolph did pretty well. I think he made the chase 2 seasons in a row, so let's see if he can do it with a 41 this year.
As across the line, the lap time 48.762.
That breaks up the Hendrick trio, 35th fastest.
And next driver out on track is Owen Miles in car number 96 for a Hall of Fame Racing in the Ask.com Ford. New sponsorship for them this year after having DLP for a majority of the last 2 seasons. Owen Miles, a true rookie for the series, has not run in either of the 2 lower series before trying to make his debut here in Cup. And for the team, I should say, Brett Moma piloted the car last year, had 2 wins, but they do not have points to carry over.
Yeah, so the only thing really going for the team in the 2 seasons they've ran full time, they've won 2 races. But I think 2 or 3. Besides that, they've been absolutely trashed for Jim Costello and Brett Moma. Going to have some help from Yates Racing this year in the 96. See what they can do this year. Owen's not really the best team to go as a rookie, but we'll see how he does this season. 190 off into the car, not too bad though.
Not too shabby, but didn't quite get the back straightaway speed that we've seen out of some of the top lap times. So I don't think this is going to be a top 8 speed for the rookie as he crossed the line, 47.259.
259, that will put him on 12th fastest.
So not good enough for the top 8, but that might be good enough to put him in on speed. Next driver to go out on track is Peter Onjak, and the sun is not his friend as it has peeked through the clouds yet again, meaning Peter Onjak's going to be in trouble because this is a car that does not have points to fall back on, was driven by Austin LaPlante a year ago to not much success, did have a win. Onjak himself had a win when he drove the 07 last year, but will have to race his way into the Daytona 500.
Yeah, so the 46 won last year with Austin. Pretty dismal. They finished, best finish with John Azale was second place in season 2. So Peter Onjak won at Vegas, so hopefully hit the 777s to pay that $200,000 fine. No, I'm just kidding. So the Onjak comes to his second season going from a RCR 07 like Charles mentioned. 187 off into the corner. So Onjak will try to use that experience, trying to get some success. They're going to be running ex-Ganassi cars, so we'll see how many races they make this season.
Nice. Trying to beat the lap time of Nick Breeding, a 48.309. The lap time, 48.311.
Woohoo, 29th. Okay, I take that back.
Oh, just barely unable to beat Nick Breeding for the top speed in the sun. Gene Sanford will be the next driver to take time as we close in on the top 42 already. This is the 39th car to go out on track. Gene Sanford yet again in the familiar spot where she is with a ride that will not have any points. She has to race her way into the Daytona 500. Last year drove the 47 and got the car to finish 18th in the owners' points after missing the chase. So we'll have to wait and see if her luck can carry over here. Sorry.
No, sorry. Gene, she missed the chase last season, right?
Yeah, missed the chase.
Yeah, so only got a couple DNQs in the 47, one race at Irwindale and the Indy. Hasn't had the race.
One DNQ.
Kind of like Johnny Benson and this, like some of the consistent drivers. Don't have a lot of wins, but can drive a car. 191 though, man.
Nemco Motorsports. She's not getting that top speed. Only 191 into turn 3.
Yeah, Nemco Motorsports makes their debut here. They'll run a couple seasons with Front Row Joe's team. So we'll see how they do here in this 87 coming off the corner. Gene will definitely give it a good ride. I can guarantee you that.
As coming to the line, what will be the lap time for the 87? 47.18 with a 5.
185. That's actually 8th fastest.
Well, so it's in for now, but on the bubble.
40. Yeah, that knocked out Ryan George.
And the 40th car to go out now will be yet another one of the drivers that moved up from a lower series. Carter Joey, moving up from the Hooters Series 1 year ago to now pilot the 83 Red Bull Toyota that was driven by, well, multiple drivers last year. It started off as Time Pollard, then it was Ethan Keidemann for the chase. The car itself finished 25th in the owners' points, and Joey missed the chase in the Hooters Series, but then made the move up.
Yeah, so 2 wins for the 27 last for Carter. Not a bad 9th place. For the 83 finished 4th at 8 Bull, 13th in the 500. So good success coming into here. Red Bull had a really down year with the Pollard last year. 1 win in total with the entire organization. Keidemann had a good second half of the season, building the team up. 193, oh boy.
Yep, 193 off into turn 3. He didn't quite have the turn 1 entry speed like we saw out of the 87, but got a little bit more out of it down the back.
Yeah, coming over from Brunco to this team this year.
As coming to the line, the lap time for Carter Joey. 47.180. It's barely good enough to get into the top 8.
And to reach 8, and another Toyota, bumping on another Toyota.
Next car on track, the 41st to take time, will be Daniel Bouchard in the 67 Arrington Racing Dodge. No sponsor other than Mopar Performance on this car. Brand new team as well, so no points for the 67. They will have to race their way into the Daytona 500.
So Arrington makes a comeback since 1988, coming back to the Cup Series. Daniel coming over, kind of swapping from, still in another series, so. This team, if they make a race, I will fall off this chair during the broadcast. 190, I didn't expect that. Holy crap.
Oh, he's running par with Robert then.
Yeah, so this car, 67 hasn't ran since season 1 with Pollard for Jasper, so we'll see how they do this season, but they're probably going to be the DNQ champions or battling Robert in the 52.
I mean, that would mean that they'd have to have run well in the DNQ races, though.
That is true.
Coming to the trioval, the lap time for Daniel Bouchard in the 67. 47.540.
That's 25th fastest. Jeez.
And the 42nd car to take time, which is an important number as well for what we can decide in this qualifying, or what we'll know after this qualifying. Allison Rain in the 36 Nexus Bank Toyota for Tommy Baldwin Racing. This is a brand new team with the 36, so no points for Allison. Drove the 25 a season ago to mixed results.
Yeah, so Allison got a pole in the 06, a lot of DNQs. Last year, the 25, just Hendrick has not been very strong, so they won a race in Ontario. Allison never won in the Hooters and the Reebok in about 80 starts. Had a rough time there. Trying out with a new team and gender change too to see if they can have better results. His friend Rob Evans is on the series this season, so Johnny kind of going solo this year.
Change is now Amanda Evans.
Oh really? Oh, I didn't know about that one.
I don't think this is going to be a top 8 lap. Barely flashed up to 192. Didn't quite hold this turn 1 speed that we've seen out of the top times.
And a side note, that scheme is beautiful.
As at the line, the lap time for Allison Rain, 47.214.
Wow, that's actually 11th fastest. Wow.
And RJ Reynolds will be the first driver up to try and bump someone out of the fast 42 to help decide who can and cannot make this race. The lap time that he needs to beat is a 48.762 ran by the defending champion Tim Randolph. For RJ, a one-season hiatus spent down in the Reebok Trucks Series. Actually did pretty well there. He does not have points with the 73 car, though, as this is a brand new team.
I actually do not know the team's name off the top. I'll get that for the duels, because this is a very short-lived team here. RJ made 3 laps up at our 3 unit. I don't know if is it back in the schedule this year?
Should be, I think.
Yeah, so RJ 190 off into the corner. RJ didn't had 1 DNQ races, didn't do much, but granted he was in the crappy MWR 44. See what RJ can do with this team right here. Rest in peace, Mike Garvey, but we'll see how he does in Garvey's car.
As coming off turn number 4, the speed doesn't look like it's that good, but it should get him into the top 42 for the time being. The lap time, 47.511.
That will be 25th fastest.
Next driver on track will be the Penske Racing Dodge of Mitchell Collins, and unfortunately for him, the sun has broke through the clouds for this run. The bump speed that he needs to run to get into the top 42 at the very least right now is a 48.760 run by Austin LaPlante in the 5. This car was piloted last year by Adam Flickinger and finished 24th in the owner's points. So we'll have to see how the Hooters Series veteran will do in his first campaign.
Yeah, Adam did pretty decent in the car. I mean, he missed a couple races due to the way the chase was. The 12 cars ran, I believe, I might be wrong, the most races out of only missed about 3 and 4 since the exception, with one with Tom Gerard and a couple with Adam. Has a lot of wins with Amy and stuff, but I think he even won in the 2060s. I don't remember the driver at Homestead. Mitchell ran the 36. I think he won last season too, so trying to look for success. 185 off to the corner. That is not looking for success right there. And guess what? Spock's coming off turn 4.
As definitely going to be sweating some bullets here no matter what the run is as he crosses the line. The lap time, 48.613. It's in for now.
6-1. Yeah, that's 42nd fastest.
Ooh. Well, and Mitchell Collins not liking what he sees as the clouds back over top the Daytona International Superspeedway for the run of Chris Wilson, who is going to try to bump Mitchell Collins out of the Fast 42. The lap time to beat, a 48.613. Wilson drove the Bill Davis 22 a season ago to a Final Four appearance, actually. Didn't do so well at Homestead, ended up finishing 4th out of the 4. Driving the car that JT Bryant drove last year and finished 16th in the owner's points with.
Yeah, so this car comes into after the 06 season, that a dismal season with Seth, the team revamped. They won with Tristan Wilhoit. They didn't do jack with Seth, but they won with Mark George. I think they won the Drivers' Championship actually with Mark. And then last year they won 2 races with JT, just had a bad chase. Chris Wilson finally got his bride last year after winning his first race at, I don't remember, I think it was 8 Bull or something. Yeah, he ran 66. I think he made the 500 the last 2 years. Bill Davis went under like Rimp, so let's see how Chris Wilson does this year.
He
for
was
the CGR
193 off into turn 3. He didn't have the turn 1 speed that we saw out of Colin Cropley, but the lap time, 47.076. It's fourth.
Let's double check that. Yes, you're right, and that knocks out the 83.
Diego Yepes will be the 46th driver out on track, the third and final of the Penske Racing Dodges. Going to try and do better than what the 12 did and put his way up into the top 42 at very least. Bump spot to do that is a 48.593 set by Christian Vargas in 99. For Yepes, driving the car that William Flickinger piloted last year, 37th in the owner's points for the 77, so likely not going to have the points to be able to do it, or to make the field, I should say.
Yeah, William had some decent runs last season, but being low because this was the 06 from 07 hurt them in the beginning of the year, missing some races, so they never could dig him out of themselves a hole, and then had some rough races in the duels so far. So we'll see how Penske does going to, I think they downgrading a car, they're same number, right?
No, it's still three. Still three.
Three, yeah. So they had success with the Jasper 77, so we'll see how they do here. That was kind of a merger sort of thing. And then the 77 last ran with Henry Williams also, but that was not for Penske. And the lap time's going to be...
time, 47.272.
That will be 17th fastest.
Jeff James is the next car out on track, and so far, Hendrick Motorsports has not gotten the weather gods on their side today, as for the fourth time out of 4 cars, the sun is shining down on top of the Daytona International Speedway. For Jeff James, making his grand return to the series after a 2-season hiatus, I believe. Driving the car that Jonathan Zorline drove to 5th in the owner's points last year. So the good news is this car will race the Daytona 500 at the very worst on points. But trying to bump his Hendrick Motorsports teammate Isaac Flickinger with a 48.572.
This rate, I think Mark Chapman freaking was paid by Hendrick. But anyways, Jeff James, nice to see somebody returning after a couple of years hiatus. The 88 last year went with Zorline. They were the 25 the previous season when Seth Cole didn't win. Or maybe, I don't know how like the Hendrick swaps things. Glad to see Jeff back. I think he'll do well. He ran the 15, won about 6 races, I believe. He was the 29 too, if I'm not mistaken. 186 off to the corner, so we'll see how Jeff does return. And he bumps Zorline back to the 25.
As coming to the line, the lap time for Jeff James, 48.062. Fastest of those in the sun.
Wow, that was he was 3/10 off Robert.
Dylan Young is the next guy to go out. Again, going to be Hendrick car versus Hendrick car on the bubble, as Jonathan Zorline is now the new bubble speed at a 48.531. As Dylan Young piloted the 24 last year to the 31st place finish in the owner's points. Not a very good season for him, but he does have the momentum coming into the season from the win at Homestead, so let's see how well that carries him.
Well, I don't know about 05. I'll have to check, but I know the 24's won the last 3 seasons, 3 times, or 4 with Louvier in 06. 07 he won at Riverside, and 08 Homestead. So he's kind of like a Ricky Rudd, 1 win a year guy. So Dylan has ran every single... No, he's ran every season, but except season 1. Do not adjust your screens like I mentioned in the Bud Shootout. National Guard of the 24, 188, and I can't confirm... Hendrick Motorsports is not listening. Here comes the sun, I promise you.
Yeah, whoever their weather guy is, he might be looking for a new job.
Is it Ollie?
I don't know. Either way, coming to the line, the lap time for Dylan Young, 48.216. It gets him into the top 42 for now.
And another Hendrick car bump.
Brett Hill is the next guy to go out, and man, these last 3 cars definitely did not like where they got in the qualifying draw, as yet again, the clouds have not come back over the Daytona International Speedway yet. Brett Hill driving the car that Henry Sanford drove last year, car number 7 for Robbie Gordon Motorsports. Team making a switch from Dodges to Toyotas, though, and they will race the Daytona 500 second in the owner's points from last season.
So yeah, the 7 team started off with Dylan Froaks in the car. Didn't really do much DNQ, but in 07 it turned around with Zorline. They did miss the 500, but with the second car from the resources, Storyline was able to win the Owners' Championship and 3-unit, and also the team won at Coca-Cola and an all-star race, which also helped the budget, which led to Henry Sanford last year winning 4 races. I believe, actually 4 races, yeah. Back-to-back, Final Four appearance. Didn't really do much at Homestead. 2 cars again this season with the 04 have already ran out, so look for 2 good things out of the 7 and the 04 team this year. 7 is locked in, so they're trying to see if the 04 could do match that success this weekend.
Brett Hill, I also should mention, coming up from the Reebok Truck Series, skipping over Hooters. The lap time for Brett Hill, 48.430. Not good enough to get into the top 42, I believe.
41st fastest.
Oh, okay, so just barely.
Yeah.
Winnie Calhoun is the next driver on track and trying to bump out the past champion Mary Shelley who has a lap time of 48.459, the bump speed right now to get into the top 42. Calhoun, a rookie to the series, came up from the short track, skipping Reebok Trucks and Hooters Series to make her debut, or their debut. 32nd in the owner's points for this car after Sam Young piloted the car last year. And let's see how this rookie can do.
Yeah, so they the 34 team did make an all-star into season 4. Didn't run season 5, but season last year, Sam Young almost won Las Vegas. Did decent in the car, just didn't have the points and missed a few races. Front row has kind of struggled last year, the 2 cars, but this year trying to come out strong. The 30, they have more sponsorship, and July 14th we might get free Baja Fish Tacos, so that still exists nowadays. So off the corner, not going to be a good, not going to be a pole speed for sure, or top 8, but it's going to be decent.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a top 8. Didn't quite have the backstretch speed, didn't quite have turn 1 speed. But the lot time for Winnie Calhoun as they cross the line, 47.381.
That will put her or him 22nd.
Seth Cole will be the next driver on track, the 07 Jack Daniels Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. This was piloted last season by Peter On. Jack, on its own right, would not have had points to carry over for this season. Seth Cole drove the 5 last year. We mentioned about how that went for him last year a little bit. But this team did acquire the Furniture Row Racing 87's points, so they are listed. They are 10th in owners' points, 10th in line on points, I should say.
So Charles will go over a little more after I'm done talking about Seth for a little bit, until we get turn 3. Robert Paul is the bump speed at 47.725. Seth has ran the last 2 years in the series, struggled in 08 and 06, only drive without a top 5 last season. A really rough year for Seth. Hasn't won since season 3 at Michigan, so Seth is rebounding. 07 was a decent season, but his last one was the longest streak is 86. I believe it's 86 races at Michigan season 3. Seth's trying to get back to his winning ways. It's off the corner, 190. We'll see where he places.
As coming to the line, the lap time for Seth Cole, 47.620.
That puts him 34th right now in for the moment.
Yes. We'll get to that in a little bit. And our next car on track is going to be the 70 Sam Schluter. This is the teammate to Kenny Moma in the 71 from earlier in the session. So this is a brand new team, obviously, as we mentioned, with the 71 as well. TRG Motorsports, or Racing, whatever it is, making the move up from trucks. They're also running the Truck Series program again this year, so we'll have to see how it does. What we were mentioning about how with Robert Pollard being the bump speed in the last run, we realized that because of the format, only the top 36 have a shot to get in on speed.
So yeah, a little correction. This is the Racers group. That's the actual name is. The 70 team.
It's still TRG.
Yeah. So the 71, brand new team, having a teammate to help out, some sponsorship, a little bit of some. It's going to be a little hard for them to get a good lap in this session, but Extend's coming on board. Not for the full season. They also have tax layers, so bringing the Extend sponsorship over. 185 here, trying to get there for Schluter. The 70's last win in the series was not with them, but with Haas CNC. Matt Dixon didn't win in the car last year, but Joshua Osborne, Road America, trying to get another win for the 70 number, who has ran every season since 06, and it does not look like it is going to be a blazing lap time.
Well, and we weren't expecting it because the sun is shining down, but the lap time, 48.814. I don't even think that's top 40.
That's the slowest. That's the slowest. It's going to be really hard for him to make the 500 now.
William Duncan is the next car out on track, looking to beat Bradley Ream's lap time of 47.695 to get himself at least into the top 36. Duncan, one of those few drivers that actually returned to the same team that they drove for last year, and also is driving the same exact car that he drove last year. Piloted the 31 to an 11th place spot in the owner's points from last season.
Yeah, so he's ran this car the last 2 seasons. Never forget the unsponsored version. He ran this Lennox scheme at a Super Speedway at Coca-Cola last year, too. Brock has... Let me see how many career wins he has.
Brock, Duncan. You mean Duncan.
Duncan, well, that's one of the first fails in a while I've had. Duncan has 6 wins. He won at Richmond and 2 times at Thornton in his career last year. Made the chase, just didn't have... RCR didn't have a great playoff or chase format, so Duncan tried to come out here with 2 other veteran drivers and try to help crossplay do pretty good this year. And off the corner, it doesn't look like it'll be a full speed.
You compensate by making 2. It's Cropley that's at the top of the board.
Whoops.
As the lap time for William Duncan, 47.485.
485 will put him 28th fastest. 3/100ths fast, slower than the 82.
Next car on track is Trey Smith, and the boys will be boys racing 06 car with breast cancer colors on it. No points for the 06, and unfortunately for him, the sun is shining down, which doesn't make it likely that this car will be able to get in on speed, or at least set a lap time fast enough. The bump speed is a 47.641 by Mitchell Hodak in the 55.
So yeah, this team was actually the 05 of my team last year that we won at Richmond, moving up to the Cup Series, getting some CJR Dodges, and going to attempt the full season with Trey Smith. Can't really say I expect much out of this team for their first and only probably year in the Cup Series. So
they're also attempting the full season down in Reebok as well.
Yeah, so they're going to have sponsor from Rockingham, something with a second and extends, another hard sponsorship right there. 188 off into the corner, and they might make a couple races, but I don't got much hope for this team. They can prove me wrong like the 67, but we'll see how they come off the corner for the boys will be boys. Oh boy.
Well, we'll have to see how well you can compare to the 88. I think the lap time might be good for in that comparison with the other clear times, but the lap time 48.353. It's actually slower than quite a few of the sun times.
That would be the 43rd fastest time ahead of the 66.
Bill Braddock Jr. in car 28 for Yates Racing is the 55th driver to set lap time here at Daytona. Going to be still trying to beat Mitchell Hodak's lap time of 47.641. This car was piloted by Jack James a year ago to 26th place in the owner's points. And for Braddock, had a not so fun season in the 17.
Yeah, so this is kind of a second year with the 28. Started out as the 90 with Henry Powers, then went to the 88 with Anderson, then Jack James. They did decent last year. They had some decent finishes, but they just not high enough in the points. This car did win the pole last year for the 500. 193 looked like they might repeat with that speed down the backstretch.
Now he's got 193.
Wow. Braddock won one Cup race in Las Vegas, hasn't won since. Drove his way out of Roush, even though he had 3 to 4 dual wins. But this is looking like a mighty lap for Bill Braddock Jr.
This could rival Colin Cropley's lap time. Could the 28 be on the front row for the second straight year? Into the trial of the lap time.
Yeah, that's a good lap.
47.062. It's just barely off the
fourth
front row.
fastest. 1/1000 slower than the 47.061 of the 2 car of Henry Sanford.
Jessica Shelton will be the next driver to go out on track, and with the amazing lap by Bill Bragg Jr., Seth Cole is now on the bubble with a 47.620. That is the lap time Jessica will be trying to beat. Also would be looking to maybe try and get into the top 8. Pollard can give that lap time when he gets over there. Shelton returning to the 21 for the second straight season and piloted this car to 12th in the owner's points 1 year ago.
I don't believe Jess won a race since 2007. I could be wrong. Am I wrong or right?
I don't remember. Actually, yeah, this might be the third straight year that she's in the 21.
Yeah, she won a race 08 Bristol and Michigan. I believe that's her only 2 career wins. Had a decent season the last 2, mainly about consistency. Just doesn't, I mean, when you're running for the mid-pack Wood Brothers, I mean, that's probably the best you can do. But driving Doing a lot better than most people would do in the equipment. That's the best way I can put it. 191 off to the corner. It's not going to be a pole lap.
192 off in turn 3. Didn't quite have the turn 1 speed that others at the top of the speed chart have had, but this should be a good lap.
The bump speed is 47.156 to JT Bryan, who went out second, and see what the time is.
And it's a 47.279.
And that would be 19th fastest, 7/100ths off to 77.
Paul Swanson is our next driver to go out on track. This is one of the drivers who's making the move up from the Hooters Series to Cup. Actually has made it through the full ladder. Started all the way back down in Reebok Trucks a few seasons ago. Then ran the last 2 seasons in Hooters. And now is going to try and make his Cup Series debut. Well, actually, not trying. He will, as this team acquired the Bill Davis 22's points, so they are locked into the Daytona 500 with the 4th place points, and we'll have to see how this rookie can do.
Yeah, so I was expecting to run the 35, but jumps to the 13. He did go up through the Germain ladder. Kind of pretty cool story that somebody actually took the time to go through the ladder throughout the season, so that's pretty cool. Never won in the Hooters Series. Best finish was second. Had about 4, maybe 5 truck wins. I don't want to misquote myself there. 192 off the corner. Great job.
193. This might look good, as he was 189 throughout turn 1, just like Cropley on his lap.
Yeah,
into Swanson. The tri-oval for Swanson. The lap time is going to be 47.026.
That is second. 5/100ths off Cropley. The 13 team won last year twice.
James Qualls is out on track now. The Sears Ford for Roush Fenway Racing. His 2nd straight campaign in this 26 car. Unfortunately for him, just like his teammate Christian Vargas before him, the sun has peeked through the clouds, so likely not going to have any threat of the bump speed and the top 36. So we'll have to wait and see what he can do. Qualls last season piloted the 26th to 23rd place in the owner's points.
I don't think let me just double check. I don't think Qualls won last year. I know he won a couple Hooters races. 1 career win for Qualls at Sonoma. Didn't really, he had a decent year last year. Didn't miss a lot of races. Just was very inconsistent and stuff. Let me look at it as I look at it real quick. He did win a pole at Pig Stadium. Yeah, no wins for him, but a couple dual wins. So we'll see what Qualls can do. 3rd year for the 26 has been one of the worst besides the 48 lose streak. Only 3 or 4 top 5s, all by Qualls. So can they finally get that luck around the new sponsorship from Sears?
Well, right now this doesn't even look like it would put him into the top 42, I think, because he's only about 187 off into turn 3. Coming into the tri-oval, the lap time for James Qualls is going to be a 48.300.
That's going to be 44th fastest, and then you get a bottle of Crown Royal to chug down that lap time.
Rafael Leduc is the next driver on track, and again, couldn't quite get graced with the cloud cover. This is the 70 from last season, as Tony Stewart came into ownership as well of this team, at least part ownership. Seeing as this is the 70, that puts them as 22nd in the owner's points, but not likely to challenge for the top 36 on speed here today.
Yeah, had a decent season with Dixon and stuff. Dixon got hurt, so that's kind of why they missed the driver's chase. Leduc ran the piss poor 45. They didn't really do much, and you know what happened to them? They got defunct. We got more freaking TRG cars than Petty Enterprises now. Raphael trying to now with a better team and better equipment. The 70 car did decent last year. They also won with Osborne and won an all-star race. So see what they can do with Stuart Haas and more money invested in the team. And I feel good for Leduc. He's on crappy equipment now. And off into the corner, we'll see what he does.
186 into turn 3. This might not be very good.
You know what's funny too? This is another Hendrick Motorsports affiliate car in the sun.
As the lap time 48.542.
Ooh, that's 53rd fastest. At least he's faster than the 48.
Jack James is going to be the next car out on track as we close in on being able to try and lock people into the Daytona 500. The 8 team last year didn't run so well with Samet Ozkan behind the wheel, but now merged with Earnhardt, merged to make Earnhardt Ganassi. I believe this is the 01's points from Pretty Shaw last year, which was 27th in the owner's points. Jack James drove the 28 1 year ago.
Yeah, Jack, now that Bill Bragg Jr. is what is the next person still trying to take home the bride, not the bridesmaid over here. Two runner-up finishes for the Jack James here. He got injured in '07, didn't really do much in the Morgan McClure car. Last year in the 28, like I mentioned, decent runs, but just were low in the owner points. The 500 Pulsar last year, and he's trying to go back to back with that speed.
He was 190 in turn one. Holy crap, this could be good.
Wow, back-to-back poles that look alike for James. He won a couple last year. What can he do off this corner? This is going to be blazing.
Can he unseat Cropley off the top? The lap time for Jack James. 46.933, the first to go sub 47.
Oh my God, Jack James, the Rocket Man.
Wes McCoy is going to be the 61st driver to take time here at Daytona International Speedway, running the 52 Dodge Avenger for Rick Ware Racing, whereas most Dodges are now the Charger. He's running the Avenger. This team, brand new, no points for the 52, so they will have to race their way into the Daytona 500 in some capacity.
Yeah, running an old front row motorsports Dodge Avenger. He's gonna need a Colt McCoy if he's gonna go by this track any faster. I expect him, Bouchard, and Varpal to be battling out for the DNQ Championship. If this car makes a race, I'll be on the floor dead too. But you never know. Maybe Colt 45, or something like that happens. So that's all I gotta say about this piece of crap.
As down the back,
190.
Still getting up. It's gotten up to 190 as well.
Man, what the hell is in these underfunded cars today?
Actually, what was the? We didn't even mention what the bump speed was. If
it doesn't matter, this car ain't in it.
Well, you said that about the 67. It's still top 36.
Yeah, it's actually 47.5 or 4.3.
Oh, okay. So it has to run almost what the 67 did. Either way, at the line, the lap time 47.514.
What? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, I'm dropping dead. Okay, on the bubble now.
Samed Ozkan is the next driver on track, and we will start locking drivers into the Daytona 500. And Jack James fans, you can like what you're seeing on your screen because the sun has come out, meaning this is not likely to be a pole-setting speed for Ozkan. We'll have to see what he can do. The one car last year with Delon Ebrahimian, 18th in the owner's points, or at least that's what the one car is going to use. Ozkan didn't have such a fun season in the 8, though.
Well, his best run was at Indy with Pretty Shaw. Ozkan ran the 29, the 8 last year, now the 1, so he's got to go to the 42 next season. Double Guitar Hero this weekend, so I guess we're playing a lot of Metallica and AC/DC or anything like that. Ozkan trying to still look for his first career win in 2 seasons. Hasn't really done much. That's all I can really say about Ozkan. Third season, yeah. His best finish is second twice, so trying to get his first win this season. And the one car hasn't won since 06. I could be wrong with that, but it has been a while since the one car won.
Well, and the lap time that will lock Jack James into the field, 48.689 for Ozkan.
That is 59th fastest.
Charles Sanford, the S3 Motorsports USBC
legend.
Chevrolet, former Daytona 500 winner, on track. The bubble to lock into the Daytona 500 on this run is a 47.021 by Colin Cropley. The 05 was able to purchase the 8's owner's points, which put them 40th in owner's points should they be able to actually get that far down. It's not been a good last couple of seasons, though, for the 05 team.
Yeah, Charles has only made about 40 starts since his 06 500 win. We've ran about almost 108 races, 107 races since then. So Charles has started out his career in the 24, 2 wins at Michigan and the 500. Been a struggling career for Charles. 192. Where the hell did this car get this speed? Anyways, still using that Camp World money from Steve Paul in 07. We'll see what Charles's lap can be. Try to get this car to the field. Really mightily struggled, but toward the end of the year, they started making more races with help from Will Lewis, Jermaine, Charles, and Robert. So off
the
this
lap
point,
time 47.230. It will bump the 52 out of the top 36.
That is 17th fastest. Where did you get the money for this, Charles?
Matt McIntyre will be the 64th driver to take time. Driving the number 39 for Stuart Haas Racing this week, or for the Daytona 500, sponsored by the Prelude to the Dream on with also HBO sponsorship. This is the 66 from last season that was piloted by Mark George to 13th in the owner's points. Matt McIntyre, a rookie to all three series, skipped trucks and Hooters to try and make his Cup debut.
Yeah, so the 66 team was pretty decent. In 06, they won 3 races with Sam Curtis. 07, there was part-time, missed a couple, but Chris Wilson had a lot of good runs. I believe he finished 6th in the 500 that year, if I'm not mistaken. Last year, Mark George won at South Boston, so I expect good things out. 191 off, it's going to be a good lap from the only Hendrick-affiliated car without the sun.
The top speeds that we've seen so far was 193 in the turn 30, so...
Yeah, 191 still going to be top 36, going to knock out the final Ware, Bouchard, and Barber car.
Yeah, this should bump the 67 out of top 36. The lap time, 47.227, just barely quicker than the 05.
1/1000 slower than the 4 car of Amy Shelley, so good lap.
Delon Ebrahimian is the next driver to take time as we're getting closer to the end. Just 5 cars left to go in qualifying, as I can bet I hear some people saying hallelujah somewhere.
Me too.
The Liberty, I don't even know what it is other than that. It's just the Liberty Dodge for
Medical.
Richard Petty Motorsport. Huh?
Liberty Medical.
Oh, Liberty Medical Dodge for Richard Petty Motorsports. This car got the 10's owner's points from last year, which was driven by Kenny Momo, 29th place points. Ebrahimian last year drove the number 1 for DEI.
Yeah, so he's had an interest. So he ran the 6 in 07. I don't think he won in the Hooters series, if I'm not mistaken. He finished 4th with his best finish in 07. Last year had 2 second places at Riverside and Canada, so looking forward to the road courses. The 10 car has not won, so if this was the 10 team has not won since the MB2 days, so this team is still looking for their first win. Not a good start off with the Sun, just like how Ozcon was another one of Ozcon's drivers in the Sun. But at least they got pretty shot in 9th. So off the corner, we'll see what he gets.
As this will be the lap time that will actually lock in his teammate. 48.541 is the time, locking in Stephen Colon.
57th fastest for the 43.
Juan Rodriguez now takes to the track. This is actually the last rookie of the session, so we'll know who the top rookie was after this one. The lap time that Rodriguez is going to be looking for to lock his way into the Daytona 500 is a 47.061 by Henry Sanford. Needs to set at least a 47.518 to be in the top 36. This is a second Germain Racing car, as he's a teammate to the 13. No points for this car, so they do have to race their way in.
Yeah, so real quick for your couch historians over here, this car actually did run in 09. At D&Q with Todd Bryan in Atlanta, they were going to run halfway to prepare for Las Vegas. So this is a real 09 car for you people who don't know history. Juan Rodriguez comes in this series, long lost brother of Fernandez, I guess. Going to try to see what he could do this year. I don't really expect much. I was expecting Swanson in this car, but that didn't transition. 189 is not going to be a really good lap, but we'll see if we get into the 500.
As coming into the tri-oval, the lap time for Juan Rodriguez, 47.151.
Wow, I was wrong. Holy shoot.
That's actually pretty high up there, I think.
10th fastest.
Ali Nelson is the 67th driver to take to the track here. Unfortunately for Nelson, the sun peeking through the clouds once again, shining bright on the track, meaning this is not likely to be a good lap time. So Bill Bragg Jr. fans looking on are going to be happy because this will definitely lock him into the field at the 47.062. We'll have to wait and see if she can set better lap time than 47.511. That's the bump speed right now. This car was 30th in owners points last year. I was going to say.
Yeah, so Ali, 104 races, just started the engine, no wins. He's really had a rough career. Best finish to second at Sonoma. Had a chance at Darlington, kind of ran out of gas and stuff. Hasn't ran out of gas out. Hasn't really done much in her career. Just kind of been the Kevin Conway of the series, is the best way I could put it. So we'll see how Ali does this year. The 11 team has one win with James Qualls in 07. Kenny Bale and I the average Bernalskis last year, terrible drivers, and the lap time is going to be
48.468 for Allie Nelson.
Yeah, that's going to put her 57th fastest.
Next car on track. I don't know. I think I can't see him. It's supposed to be Derek Hamill here in the 00. This car was 36th last year in the owner's points with Hamill. Gonna try and look to do better in his second year in the Cup Series. Unfortunately, not off to a good start as the sun continues to shine down on the Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, last year Hamill was up there, then he just kind of ran into the rookie bind and then just missed a bunch of races and missed the chase. MWR, like I mentioned a couple times, is a complete joke in this series. They really haven't done much besides Henry's one season and 00. Trying to look for more success. Maybe with a second-year driver coming back to the team, they'll
Jeff
have
James
more.
Won a 00 for this team in 2006.
That was more like Hermie Sadler's team and stuff because Michael Waltrip was under the 55 team. So we'll see how the Aaron Hamill does this season. Well, we can't see him. He's going to be like John Cena in the Truck Series.
Can't see him today. I don't know. The car just kind of blends in.
Well, you know what would be great for this? They should put John Cena in this car.
Well, so this will lock in Chris Wilson. Will it be able to be good enough for the top 36? No, it won't. 48.405.
54th fastest.
And last but not least to take to the track is going to be Tristan Wilhoit. And man, they might have just saved the best for last. The qualifying ace of the series in his own right. We'll have to wait and see what he can do. Pretty good here at Daytona in the past. The 17 will have to race in, though, because they are 42nd in owner's points from last year. And we are guaranteed to have at least one person who's outside the top 43 make it on the past champion at the very least. So we'll have to wait and see. Trying to unseat the second place guy on the front row. We'll have to wait and see. Jack James is guaranteed to be a front row starter. I'll hand it over to Steven.
Yeah, so Tristan ran from the 21 to the where did he run in 07? The 99, then to the 16 started to the 9, the season 5 Daytona 500 winner. Tristan, the move from Patterson to Bill Bragg Jr. did not work out. So it's either going to be the first pole for the 8 since Toby Jason in season 1 in Atlanta 2, or is it going to be the first pole for the 17 since season 3?
This does not look good for a pole.
No, season 3 Picks Creek. So looks like Jack James, I don't know when the last time anybody went back-to-back poles for the Daytona 500.
The lap time, 47.490. It's
How
good
about
enough for
Jack
the top
James?
36. And Jack James is your pole sitter for the Daytona 500.
How about 36 for Wilhoit? That's funny enough.
Oh, right on the bubble for being able to make it on speed.
Wow.
And it wouldn't be, it'd be a little bit remiss of us to basically kind of leave it off right there. So with that, that is qualifying in the books for the Daytona 500. You will see the dual lineups here in a moment. Jack James is the pole sitter once again. I don't remember, Raph. I think it's Colin Cropley on his outside, isn't it?
Yes.
So we have Jack James, Colin Cropley, the front row. Those will be your pole sitters for the duels. There will be little indicators to know who is locked in on speed, who is locked in on points, and who must race their way in to the Daytona 500 on Thursday for the duels. Steven, any final thoughts?
Jack James's third career pole. You got a pole in Thornton. You got a pole for the 500. It's 3/10 off his pole of 40. What was it? 46. 890, I believe it was.
790 or something.
790. Yeah, but unbelievable job by Jack James. That's really impressive to do that. 2 years in a row. So I got to give credit to him for the 8 team here. Trying to get his first career win still, so that will help. The duels are going to be exciting. The DNQ race is going to be exciting too. And we got more action. We got a whole week. If you don't want to tune in this premiere chat, there's something wrong with your head, definitely. So looking forward to it. We're going to have excitement. And can the 3 slowest cars make the 500? Tune in on Thursday to see out, or Friday, who knows?
Well, I know what he's meaning by that, but technically what he's meaning isn't even the true statement because those aren't the 3 slowest from qualifying.
Well, out of technicality, they're not.
So with that said, thank you for watching. Even if you just tuned in for your car and that car alone, leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't today for more gaming and racing related content. I'm going to try to remember to leave a link to the Discord down below in the description. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. So that way you can, one, have a role added to you for the series that you're in. And then you can see when we're going live. You can follow the practice results, the qualifying results. And I will try to do more race write-ups on like the Monday after the race weekends. Well, you can help, but the problem is you also can't get the screenshot from the race unless I send you the replay file.
That's very true.
So we'll see. I'm going to try to do that a little bit more than I did last year. But either way, for Stephen Paul III, I'm Grunt Fan 291, and this has been a production of the NRSL. We'll see you guys on Thursday.
See you guys Thursday. I'm going to bed. I'm tired.